My name is Sarah. I am 51 years old. People in my town call me the Queen of Coffee because I own a chain of successful cafes. When I walk into my shops, I look strong. I wear expensive suits. I speak with a firm voice. My hair is always tied back perfectly. I have a big house with 5 bedrooms, but I live there alone. Every night, the only sound I hear is the ticking of the clock on the wall. I grew up poor. My parents worked in a factory. I remember the feeling of an empty stomach and the holes in my only pair of shoes. Because of that, I promised myself, I will never be poor again. I spent 30 years building my business. I didn't have time for love. I didn't have time for friends. I thought money was a wall. If the wall was high enough, sadness could not get in. But I was wrong. The wall didn't keep sadness out, it kept me locked in. One rainy Monday, I felt tired. Not the tired you feel after work, but a tired soul. I decided to drive far away from my office. I stopped at a small, cheap diner by the road. It was a place where truck drivers and students ate. No one knew me there. I sat near the window. Outside, the rain was gray. Then, I saw a young man. He was standing under a small tree, trying to stay dry. He was wearing a thin jacket and carrying a heavy bag of books. He looked exhausted. He came inside the diner and sat at the counter. He didn't order food. He only ordered a glass of water. He took out a small notebook and started writing. His hands were red from the cold. He looked at the menu, then he looked at the few coins in his hand. He sighed. It was a heavy sigh, full of weight. In that moment, I didn't see a stranger. I saw myself 40 years ago. I felt a sharp pain in my chest. It was empathy. I called the waitress and whispered, "Please give that young man a large steak, a piece of apple pie, and a hot coffee. Put it on my bill, but do not tell him it is from me." The waitress brought him the food. I watched his face. He looked confused, then his eyes filled with tears. He looked around the room. Our eyes met. I tried to look away, but I couldn't. He stood up and walked to my table. "Did you do this?" he asked. His voice was soft and deep. "I just wanted to share my lunch," I said, trying to sound like a businesswoman. "My name is Leo," he said. "I am a student. I moved here to study music, but New York is more expensive than I thought. Thank you. You don't know what this means to me." We started talking. Leo was 24. He played the violin. He told me about his dreams of playing in a big orchestra. He talked about his mother who worked 3 jobs to send him to school. As I listened, I felt something strange. For years, people only talked to me about contracts, prices, and profit. Leo talked about the color of music and the feeling of the wind. He made me feel human again, but my mind started to fight with my heart. My mind said, "Sarah, stop. He is just a kid. He is poor. People will laugh at you. They will say you are buying a young friend because you are old and lonely." My heart said, "For the first time in years, you are not thinking about money. You are just Sarah. Don't let him go." We began to meet every week. I didn't take him to expensive restaurants. We ate hot dogs in the park. We watched the sunset. He showed me his world of art and struggle. I showed him my world of responsibility and silence. One evening, Leo took his violin out and played for me in the park. The music was beautiful, but sad. It told a story of a bird with a broken wing trying to fly. I started to cry. I haven't cried in 20 years. "Why are you crying, Sarah?" he asked, putting his hand on mine. "Because I realized I have been a bird in a golden cage," I whispered. "I have everything, but I have nothing." Leo leaned in and kissed my cheek. Then, he kissed my lips. It was a gentle kiss. It didn't feel like a business deal. It felt like coming home. Of course, people found out. My assistant at work looked at me with judging eyes. My neighbors whispered when Leo's old bicycle was parked in front of my big house. "Is he your grandson?" one woman asked me with a fake smile. "No," I replied, looking her in the eye. "He is my partner." Inside, I was shaking. I was 51. I had wrinkles around my eyes. Leo had smooth skin and a bright future. Every time I looked in the mirror, I felt afraid. Am I a fool? I asked myself. Will he leave me when he becomes famous? Is he only here because I help him with his rent? The doubt was like a small worm eating my happiness. One night, I decided to test him. I sat him down and said, "Leo, I want to give you a gift. I will pay for your entire music school. And I will buy you a luxury apartment so you can practice in peace." Leo looked at me. He didn't look happy. He looked hurt. "Sarah," he said, "do you think my love has a price tag? I am with you because you are the only person who truly listens to my music. If you give me all these things, I will feel like your employee, not your man. I want to earn my own way. I want to be able to buy you a gift one day, even if it's just a flower from the street." I felt ashamed. I was trying to use my money as a shield again. I realized that Leo wasn't looking at my bank account. He was looking at my soul. 6 months later, Leo got an opportunity to play in a concert in Europe. It was his big break. But, before he left, a local newspaper wrote a nasty article about us. They used a photo of us and called me a wealthy predator. I was devastated. I stayed in my house and turned off the light. I didn't want to go to work. I felt like everyone was laughing at me. Leo came to my house. He found me sitting in the dark. "Sarah, look at me," he said. "Go away, Leo," I cried. "This is ruining your reputation. You are a talented musician. You shouldn't be linked to an old woman like me in the papers. It will hurt your career." Leo knelt down in front of me. "The only thing that can hurt me is losing you. These people, they don't know us. They don't know about the nights we spent talking about our fears. They don't know that you taught me how to be brave, and I taught you how to laugh. Their words are just noise. My music is the truth." That night, I realized that I had spent my whole life worrying about what they said. But they didn't tuck me in at night. They didn't care if I was happy. Leo went to Europe for 3 months. I stayed in New York. We talked on video calls every day. I didn't pay for his trip. He worked extra hours to afford it. While he was away, I changed. I stepped down as the CEO of my company. I hired a manager to do the hard work. I started painting again, something I loved when I was a girl. I stopped wearing the tight suits and started wearing comfortable clothes. I let my hair down. When Leo came back, I met him at the airport. I didn't drive my Mercedes. I took a taxi. He ran to me and hugged me tight. "You look different," he said, smiling. "You look light." "I am light," I said. I dropped the stones I was carrying. We moved to a smaller house. It's not a mansion, but it has a room for his music and a room for my paints. We are not married yet, and maybe we never will be. We don't care about the rules anymore. Sometimes, when we walk in the park, people still stare. I see them whispering. I see them pointing at the older woman and the young man. In the past, that would have crushed me. But now, I just smile at Leo. He takes my hand and pulls me close. I learned a very important lesson. Success isn't about how much money you have in the bank. It's about having someone who knows the song in your heart and sings it back to you when you forget the words. My life is no longer a silver gallery of cold objects. It is a warm home, filled with music, laughter, and a love that doesn't care about the date on a birth certificate. I am Sarah. I am 51. And for the first time in my life, I am truly rich.